Hey guys, welcome to another radio video, and this is the start of a tutorial on digital signals on the HF bands on shortwave, how to decode them, and how to actually identify the type of signal. Now that requires, of course, some experience. After a few days and weeks of listening to digital signals, you'll get a hang of what's radio teletype, what's BPSK31, what's MFK, what's of course Morse code, which is the easiest to identify, and is not, by the way, a digital mode, but the software we're going to install does decode CW, which is Morse code. So that could be also something fun. So first of all, the software we're going to use, FLDIGI, which is the same software that was actually popularized by the Voice of America radiograms. And by the way, these are excellent ways of learning the different digital modes and getting the hang of it. The VOA radiograms are cool for that. Another cool way of getting the hang of it is W1AW that has Morse code practice. You can try the Morse code with the practice, but what's cool is that you can also try your hand at digital modes, because they have a digital bulletin, and every day they use a different digital type of signal. So they have MFSK, they have BPSK, they have RTTY, which is radio teletype. So all sorts of things, and we're gonna go through a little series of videos, and hopefully it's gonna be simple enough for just about anyone to go along and decode digital signals. One word of caution, and it's totally normal if you are new at digital signal decoding. One thing you'll probably find is at the beginning it's a little bit of a hit and miss situation. We're unsure of the modes, the digital modes, and each mode has a million kinds of settings. But hopefully what we'll get most of the time actually is digital modes that are in fixed settings, that are probably what is the types of settings you'll encounter most of the time on the HF bands. So first you have to download a piece of software. It works, this is for Windows and Mac, so FLDIGI is available on Mac and Windows. I'll be showing you the software on Windows, so if you have a Mac, it might be a little different if I try to show you some stuff. And actually, if you have a Mac, or if there's a need for explaining the software on the Mac, I'll do a video with my MacBook and FLDIGI. So, sorry, head on to the w1hkj.com/FLDIGI.html. So this is the place to go. This is what it should look like. If you are unsure of how to input the address, just type FLDIGI in Google and you will find a website that will bring you right here. Once you are here, you've got the little download page on the left side that you'll click on, and you'll get all these files. Now, what's all of that? Well, FLDIGI is a program that can be upgraded. There's a lot of little different modules that can be upgraded in the software. So depending on what you're using, you will be able to actually use the different modules. But we're going to start at the beginning. Once you're here, you should see, for example, Windows Setup and FLDIGI 3.21.76 that said actually updated 18 October 2013, so this is kind of the latest version that you can see. You click on that. depending on the browser you're using and the way you're doing things, you might see a little window here. I'm on Chrome, so it says FLDIGI on the bottom left. That's where the download is going. If you are using Internet Explorer, you'll see the file download, and you're going to be asked if you want to run the piece of software or save it. Run the software, and it's going to get you into the setup, which should look like this. And you press continue and next, and leave all the check marks. Just install it as it is asking its way. So install, you'll have the full install going through, and close at the end. This should bring up a icon maybe on your desktop. If it's not, go and check your programs, all of your programs, and you should find it so that you can make a, if you right click and you send to desktop, you'll make a shortcut if you don't have a shortcut on the desktop. So that's the first step, installing it from the website. Once it's installed, the second step will be to actually make sure that the input chosen for your software is the good one. And be careful, because on websites like on laptops and on computers, sometimes you have a webcam, and the webcam has its own microphone, and you should have a microphone input jack on your computer also. But that's going to be later on. So first things first, you're going to start it up, FLDIGI. Hopefully it's going to work well. It's going to load up, and it's going to be here. And once you're here, the thing that you'll have to check is in the configure on the upper left side. Go into sound card, and here capture and playback. You need to have the good capture. It should say microphone, and maybe you'll have different microphone inputs. You got to be careful, because you can have your your webcam has its own microphone, and that could show up here. Maybe you have other devices that can actually lead to different microphones. What you want to make sure is you have the microphone jack of your computer. That's very important. That's the way it's going to work best. So just select the microphone input of your computer, and make sure that it's not the microphone from your webcam. As for playback, it should normally be set correctly so that you can also hear. But for listening, the playback is not necessary. If you use FLDIGI as a ham radio operator and want to transmit, then it might be good to actually set the good output, the playback to speakers. So once you know that everything is set right, click Save. If you're not sure, I'm going to show you in the next video, where we're going to hook up the radio, how to make sure that you have the proper setup of the microphone. It's probably the hardest thing at first, setting up the microphone. I had a lot of messages of people saying, hey, I have FLDIGI, doesn't decode anything, doesn't work. And most of the time it's the microphone setting that was wrong. So once you have the right setting, just click Save. For now, there's a lot of options in FLDIGI. So we're going to really go slowly through the piece of software that you have in front of you. If we have a quick look at what we have in front of us before we end this video. So we have now the interface, which is the file, the op mode, the configure, the view, the logbook on the upper right side, left side, sorry. And one little thing that you should take note of is the fact that you see a little USB on the left side. When you click there, you see different modes showing up, and this mode should always match the mode that is set on your radio. So most digital signals are decoded in USB mode. So you'll probably leave USB most of the time on. But depending on the type of signals, you might change that, or you might have a special mode on your radio that's gonna make you change these settings. So for now, leave it to USB. It's probably 90% of the signals are going to be decoded with USB mode. The window is separated in two parts, where you have the middle part. This is where all the actual data is going to show up. So if you're decoding RTTY, the text is going to show here. If you're decoding a WeFax, a weather fax from the HF modes, is going to show up. The map's going to show up here slowly. And the bottom part is what we call a waterfall. The waterfall is very, very useful in digital signals, because that's where you see the actual signal, and it actually gives a lot of information. Not only do you see the signal, but you see its trace, how wide it is and how it is configured. And that, if you're not sure of the mode used by a digital transmission, gives you a lot of detail on what type of mode you might be using. And you see that there's this little red bar here, these two little red bars. And an example, if I change mode, go into RTTY wide, you see that the space is a lot bigger now. And depending on the signals, these two little red lines are going to be very, very, very useful, because you'll have to synchronize them with the incoming signals. Sounds really complicated, but it's actually quite easy, as long as you know what mode the transmissions are using. Now, for the different modes of transmission, like I said, that's a really little experience needed, but knowing the different frequencies that we use and the different modes that are used, I think slowly but surely you will come to the world of digital signals. This is what is fun about HF shortwave radio, is the fact that you can listen not only to international broadcasts, but probably what keeps me listening even more is the fact that there's so many different signals that you can listen to. You know, one night I might want to listen to programs, and you know, I'll listen to the usual voice, the Radio Romania, or Cuba, Turkey, Vietnam, whatever. Another night I might go on and think, well, I don't want to listen to international broadcasts today. I want to listen to digital modes or ham radio operators. And so this is the start of a series of videos that is going probably to help you, especially if you're a beginner. And you know what? Even if you've been listening like me for 30 years, having a little refresh of all that's out there and all that you can listen to is sometimes useful, because it gives you a new look into the hobby. And one of the biggest problems of a lot of people is they listen to the same signals over and over and over again. Remember, you got a radio with a dial on it, and you can change your frequency. So you can listen to a lot of different signals on shortwave. So this is the first part. Hopefully you installed it. Maybe you followed the video and installed it on your computer. A laptop, it could be a tower, it could be any type of computer that runs Windows. FLDIGI is compatible from Windows XP up to Windows 8. I have Windows 8.1 here. Works really well. It's also compatible for Macs, so if you have a Mac computer, hey, hop along and we're going to start decoding these signals. And this is the first part. Hopefully you enjoy this series and you'll be tempted to try out digital signal listening on the HF bands on shortwave. If you enjoy the videos, hey, subscribe to our channel. It's always fun to have new subscribers. We're at almost 700, I believe, which is quite cool. And you know, tell your friends, family about this channel. and have them come along and watch all the videos, and maybe they'll be tempted to try out shortwave radio also. And finally, if you have comments, questions on this, maybe you installed it, you had some kind of issue, you can ask away. We'll try to fix these issues if possible. I'll try to help you through the install. And one last thing, if you downloaded FLDIGI, you can't find the file. Remember one thing is that in Windows Vista 7 and also in Windows 8, you have a folder called Downloads, so the file could be in Downloads if you can't find it on your computer. So this was part 1, and we're going to continue with part 2, where we're going to show you how to hook up your radio to your computer. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoy the videos, and don't worry if you see the videos coming in only 1 or 2 at a time. I have a big work week. Actually, I've been having a big month for work, so I've been having a little difficulty finding time to make videos and listen to the radio. So don't worry, I'm gonna continue this series and help you understand and listen to the different digital modes on shortwave radio. Thanks for watching, 73.